So I'm assuming that you've tried a routine before and it never worked. Or you've tried multiple routines and each time you did it, it will last for about a few days, weeks, maybe even a month, and then it'll just end and you just go back into the same habits. And I would assume sometimes you feel like you're just not capable of doing a certain thing. You know that feeling where your brain kind of just tells you that maybe I'm literally just not built for that. Maybe I'm not wired to do things like that. I'm just going to tell you that that isn't the case. It just depends on how you go around doing this simple thing. So you want to start a new routine. The first thing, and I mean the first thing you need to get sorted out is why do you want to get this routine done? Why do you want to get this routine set out for yourself? Now, what I'm actually going to tell you to do is pause the video and get a piece of paper, a notepad or something, and write down right now why. Why do I need a routine? Reasons for why I need a routine. I want you to give yourself three good reasons why you need a routine, and then come back to the video. I'll wait. Okay, cool. I'm done waiting. The reason why I wanted you to label 3 reasons at least was because the last time you tried to have a routine, if you've tried before, was probably because it was for one flimsy reason. And you're like, let me lock in, bro. It's summer. Let me do a lock in for summer. Let me lock in for winter. It's my winter arc, all of this. And it just never worked out. Or the reason was literally just because everyone else was doing it. So you're like, cool, let me try to do it as well. Let me try copy. Never do that. Let me try copy another YouTuber's routine and see how it goes. Unless a YouTuber tells you how to get it done and you're just copying how they do it, it will never work out for you because you don't have the same reasons. You won't be motivated by doing whatever they're doing because they have their own reasons for doing it. They have their own processes. The way it hits their brain doesn't hit your brain the same way. So that's why I say you need your why. Now, after you get your why, I want you to go for your how. For how long? The reason why I say how long is because if you start this routine, chances are you're going to be like, okay, cool. So I want to do this for the whole rest of my life. Right? And that's a good thing. It's a good thing to have a goal for the rest of your life. But here's the thing. Routines evolve, routines progress, routines change. I don't expect you to be doing this for the rest of your life. A lot of the times when people do something like this, where they make big goals for long time horizons, what tends to happen is they never stick to it because it's the rest of their life. Their brain is going to tell them, okay, cool, let me never get to actually doing it because it's too astronomically huge for me to even comprehend what to do within this time. Am I just going to do the same thing for the rest of my life? That doesn't sound appealing. And your brain is not going to jive with that. So what I recommend is, and some people may get onto me about this, but I've recommended this before, give yourself a time limit. Give yourself a time limit for this routine. So I'd say, let's say this is literally the rest of your life. I'll say by this point, you can stop your routine. You can stop. But this is a goal, okay? What I want you to do, geez, I can't even spell goal. What I want you to do is have a goal in mind. When you achieve it, you can switch it up. The routine is going to be set out to achieve a goal. Now, let me explain further how you can do this and why this makes sense. The reason why I say have a goal and give yourself something at the end of the tunnel rather than to just go into an everlasting tunnel is I, every day, study and wake up at 6 a.m. I wake up at 6 a.m., then I study for my IT exam. Basically, I'm trying to get a qualification. I made the routine based off of that reason. I made the routine to wake up at 6 a.m. and do the studying the first thing in the morning. Everything else I do comes afterwards because I built upon it. But within a year, that's what I've been doing. And it works perfectly for me. But on top of that, the reason why I'm so aggressive with it is because there's a time horizon. Within a year, I wouldn't need to do this anymore. However, here's what happens. Within that year, you're going to build up discipline. You're going to make yourself accountable for the fact that you do this routine every single day. You're going to realize that over time, your mind actually calcifies. You're not going to be the type of guy that gives up on it because clearly you have a goal, you have something you want to achieve. There's an actual tangible thing at the end of it that you will get, that you're going to then thank yourself for sticking to the routine for. That's why I say have a goal. So it's something that's achievable, something that you can grab and hold on to and then look at and be like, this is why it works. Now, the main issue is, but what happens when it's finished, right? What happens when you reach that goal? You're just going to give up on the routine. I don't think so. I think one or two things is going to happen. Either you reach that goal and you give up. You go, okay, cool, I got in what I wanted. Why do I need this routine? Let me give up. But think about that for a second. Do you genuinely think after how much time you've gone behind this routine, you're going to just give up on it? There comes a point where you're going to start enjoying this routine. And when you achieve that goal, you're going to want something else. You are going to want more. Because you enjoy the discipline. You enjoy the routine. You enjoy the structure and you enjoy the system. You made it for yourself. You built it from the ground up. Therefore, you don't want to let it go. That's something that you made. Imagine making a tower of cards and then breaking it within 2 seconds of making it. Why do you want to do that? It took you hours to make it. And in this case, months or even years. So what you should do, or what you probably will do, is look for something else and build upon that and have another goal. Especially if you've become disciplined over this time, which is very likely. And there you go. Before you knew it, you have a routine, but not only one routine, you have a routine that is going to evolve and generate new routines after the first one serves its purpose. Because that's not what life is about. Life is not about sticking within one system and then sticking with it for the rest of your life. It's about sticking with something that you made and then progressing and evolving it over time. Because nothing in life is stagnant, everything evolves. Everything ages, everything changes. There's a quote from Alex Hormozy. He's a business guru, basically, but he has some good gems. But what he did, he basically said that if you're in a state of standing still, you die. You essentially are saying, kill me, because you know the saying, evolve or die? It essentially comes from that as well. Nothing that doesn't adapt to its environment lasts for a long time, because something will come up and sweep it away if it doesn't adapt. Now, the whole point of this video is for your routine to adapt, but first and foremost, you need to have your reason, which is why I said to write it down and calcify it. I want you to internalize it and digest it. Digest your reason. It all comes down to the why. After your why, the how, the what, and the when shall be instantaneous after this calcifies within your mind. That's the main thing you want to get down, okay? Why and everything else shall follow. Now, this is supposed to be a quick video, but yeah, it's that simple, guys. I'm not even joking. It worked for me. I'm pretty sure it'll work for you. Stick for more.